of 3 fights to introduce for you in the middleweight division, 10 rounds between ambitious and rising 160-pound fighters, coming to us from Compostela, Nayarit, Mexico, with a record of 14-1 with 10 KOs, Armando Resendiz. Just 20 years old, but he brings a record of 15-0 with 12 KOs from the greater Phoenix area of Whitman, Arizona. A rising southpaw, Elijah Garcia. Division. We go to welterweight for our next fight. 12 rounds with the interim WBC title at stake. Coming out first from San Antonio. He goes by the name of El Azteca with a 27-2 record. 18 KOs, Mario Barrios.
Que sea el 30 de septiembre y qué crees que la gente vea de tu parte?
Bueno, yo espero una pelea fuerte, siempre es lo que hago, esperar peleas fuertes, me preparo fuerte para que la gente espere peleas que les guste, peleas que sean entretenidas para el público.
I expect a tough fight, I prepare in a tough way, and what I hope is that this is a fight that the fans grow to love and that it's going to be something that they're going to just tune in and be the one that they love to watch.
Standing across from him, let me introduce once again Elijah Garcia. The opening statements about what this fight means at just 20 years old to the arc of your career.
I just want to, give thanks. It's a big blessing to be on this card. I'm not scared to admit I'm nothing without my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He's the one that made it happen. I know September 30th, I'm going to have the toughest fight of my career so far. Armando Resendez, he comes strong, he comes in shape, and he comes ready to fight. It's a blessing to be on the card, such a great card with all these great fighters. And, I'm preparing to be a world champion, and these tough fights are going to prepare me for it.
Well, this middleweight contest, it came together in an interesting way. A big night for both competitors earlier this year, March 4th, Ontario, California. Breakthrough performances on the undercard of Showtime Championship Boxing. And for Mario Barrios, we've seen you at the pay-per-view level before. You always seek to fight the best available. This looks no different to me entering this matchup against the former champion.
Yeah, I mean, whenever a fight is brought up to me, there's never a name that I say no to, and it was no different with this fight. Ugas is a tremendous fighter. He's a former champion, and me and him are fighting for the BBC interim. So it's a huge opportunity, and so I was more than happy to take this.
Across from you is the decorated former champion Yordenis Ugas. Yordenis, we haven't seen you since the unification fight against Errol Spence Jr. almost 2 years ago. You fought through a broken orbital bone. You're back. You look great today. People are going to say, hey, age 37, is this still the same Ugas? What do you say to any whispers of critics heading into this title bout once again for you?
Yordenis, peleaste contra Spence, te intentaste sobreponer a un hueso orbital completamente roto, te recuperaste, te ves genial ahora, pero la gente quizás está pensando, a los 37 años, Yordenis Ugas sigue siendo el mismo. ¿Qué tenés que decir cuando escuchas ese tipo de, quizás, de gente que te cuestiona sobre tu edad y el momento en el que estás?
No, saludo a todos. Sí, vengo de una lesión, vengo de una gran pelea. Ahora estamos entrenando, estamos bien, con salud, muy feliz por regresar a una gran pelea contra Baja.
The most important thing right now is not what people say. It's the fact that I'm healthy, that I'm happy, that I prepared in a great way for what will be a great fight against Barrios. What people say from the outside doesn't really concern me that much.
Entering this matchup with Ramos.
Mindset ain't really changed. I still got a chip on my shoulder. Going into this fight very hungry. I know. Testing. I'm going into this fight really hungry. I got a young, hungry kid in front of me. But I'm young and hungry as well. I'm still 27 years old. I think people fail to forget that. I still got a chip on my shoulder, and you can expect fireworks on September 30th. I'm looking to win and be in the big fights against, some of the best guys in the division, so I can headline my own pay-per-views.
Well, before we hear from your opponent here, Erickson, what's fueling the chip on your shoulder?
Just, adversity, facing adversity in my first title challenge with CHARLO, that was, that brought me back to, working real hard, and that brought me to 6 fights in a row I won, and then, going through what I went through with Fundora, I was winning that fight, and then, having to, pretty much throwing the towel for that fight was, that fueled me. That fueled me to, go back to the drawing board and work even harder.
We have no shortage of motivation in the dangerous opponent of Jesus Ramos Jr. standing across from you, 22 years old, 20-0. Jesus, you've been knocking on this division's door for a while as a coming attraction. It appears you're now here. When you saw the paper, the contract, Lubin's name on it, what made you sign that dotted line?
I was excited, when I heard we were gonna fight Lubin. I respect him. He lost to CHARLO early in his career, and he basically built himself back up. Like he said, he got six wins, and that loss to Fedora was tough. He's a warrior, and that's exciting, man. Those type of fights are exciting for me. This is what I'm here for. I'm here to prove that I'm one of the best, and to do that, I got to beat the best in the division. So it was an exciting moment and an exciting card as well.
Jesus, we saw you back in March, Benavides Plant pay-per-view, a big opportunity against unbeaten Joey Spencer, and you delivered with the knockout finish. When you look back on that night, what are you most proud of? What statement did you send?
I feel like people didn't really know what level I was on. They thought it was a 50-50 fight with Joey Spencer, and I didn't feel like it was. I just had to go out there and show it. I had to prove that I was on a different level and that I deserved to be on a stage like this as well.
Well, Jesus, you've also scored big victory over another name who's making news and noise in this division in Brian Mendoza. So if you add Erickson Lubin to that growing ledger of 20 wins in as many fights, what will they be saying about you and where you belong here in the title picture at 154 pounds?
Yeah, hopefully at the top. I feel like I have great names on my resume, and but that's not up to me. Whenever I get the raw shot, it's not up to me. I just have to keep proving myself. I got to keep winning. I got to keep beating these guys, and keep learning, keep growing as a fighter. That's the main thing. Fighting with Lubin, I'm gonna take a lot from this fight. After this fight, I'm gonna have a lot more experience. I'm gonna be a different boxer, after this fight, and I think that's what matters the most. Just growing, be ready for that title shot when it comes.
Erickson, you're obviously confident, you have much reason to be, but how good is Jesus Ramos? What do you have to be leery of when you touch paths with him in the ring?
He's a solid fighter. He's a real solid fighter. I watched the fight with Joey Spencer. I thought he looked good in that fight. But truth be told, I'm not Joey Spencer. I'm one of those top guys in the division. I'm the cream of the crop, and I'm just here to prove myself. I want the toughest test every time out, and I've asked for this fight even before he fought Joey Spencer. So, we have it here. It's on a big platform, and both of us are hungry. So it's gonna be fireworks September 30th.
Erickson, you shared the ring with so many big names, co-authored fights of the year, you scored victories over former world champions and title contenders. What does a win over Jesus Ramos do for you?
It just solidifies that I belong at the top and I need a title shot, The winner, I believe, gets a big fight. Whether it's with CHARLO, whether it's with Earl Spence, whether it's with, Fondora again, whether it's with Crawford. I think the winner of this fight lands a big fight.
Erickson, you, after co-authoring that fight of the year against Fondora, you bounced back nicely. 5th round TKO in June over Luis Arias. There seemed to be this, like you mentioned, chip on Jesus Ramos Jr., Erickson Lubin, 12 rounds. The super welterweight division, a special attraction.
All right, guys, let's go down here. Guys, down here first. In the back of the TV. All right, thanks, guys. Let's get the Mariel.
Interim WBC welterweight title at stake. Ariel Barrios, Dennis Ugas.
All right, guys, let's go down here in the front. Down here in the front, guys. And in the back of the TVs.